The clock on the microwave ticked past 3:30. Another Tuesday. The hum of the appliances filled the air, a constant reminder of the technology that surrounded every aspect of daily life. The kitchen, with its sleek surfaces and digital displays, was a testament to the advancements of the modern world. Yet, despite the futuristic setting, the routine remained the same. The coffee machine gurgled, the fridge hummed, and the microwave beeped, marking the passage of time in a world that seemed to move faster every day. Rain lashed against the windows, a familiar soundtrack to a city that never sleeps. The droplets raced down the glass, blurring the neon lights of the cityscape outside. Each drop seemed to carry with it a story, a moment in time, lost in the hustle and bustle of urban life. The rain was a constant companion, a reminder of the natural world amidst the towering skyscrapers and digital billboards. It was a city of contrasts, where the old met the new, and nature clashed with technology. A young woman, headphones on, navigated the crowded pavement, lost in her own digital world. Her eyes were fixed on the screen of her device, fingers dancing across the surface as she typed out messages and scrolled through feeds. Around her, the city moved in a blur, people rushing to and fro, each absorbed in their own lives. The woman was a part of the crowd, yet separate, connected to a world beyond the physical through the device in her hand. She was a symbol of the times, where human connection was often mediated by technology. In a high-rise office, a businessman tapped away at his keyboard, the glow of the screen reflecting in his tired eyes. The office was a hive of activity, with colleagues bustling around, phones ringing, and the constant hum of conversation. Yet the businessman was in his own world, focused on the task at hand. The screen in front of him displayed a myriad of data, charts, and graphs, each telling a story of the company's performance. The weight of responsibility was evident in his posture, the long hours taking their toll. He was a cog in the machine, a vital part of the corporate world that never seemed to stop. Life, in all its mundane glory, carried on. No one looked up. The streets were filled with people, each going about their day, oblivious to the world around them. The city was a symphony of sounds, from the honking of horns to the chatter of pedestrians. Yet, amidst the chaos, there was a sense of order, a rhythm to the daily grind. People moved with purpose, each step taking them closer to their destination. It was a dance of life, choreographed by the demands of modern living. No one noticed the subtle flicker in the air, the briefest pause before the digital world went dark. It was a momentary glitch, a hiccup in the seamless flow of information that powered the city. For a split second the screens flickered, the lights dimmed, and the hum of technology faltered. It was as if the city took a breath, a pause in the relentless march of progress. But in the blink of an eye, it was over, and life continued as if nothing had happened. At precisely 3:37 p.m., the internet blinked. Phones died mid-call, television screens went black. The city, so reliant on its digital lifeline, was plunged into an eerie silence. Conversations halted, fingers paused mid-type, and a collective gasp seemed to echo through the streets. It was a moment of disconnection, a reminder of the fragility of the digital world. For a brief moment, the city was united in its confusion, each person experiencing the same disruption. The hum of servers, the lifeblood of modern existence, ceased. The silence was deafening, a stark contrast to the usual background noise of the city. In server rooms across the metropolis, lights blinked out, screens went dark, and the steady whir of fans came to a halt. It was as if the heart of the city had stopped beating, leaving a void in its wake. The digital world, so integral to daily life, had vanished, leaving the city to grapple with the sudden stillness. The woman on the street stopped, her music cut short. She had been lost in her favorite song, the rhythm and beats transporting her to another world, but now there was nothing, no sound, no melody, just an eerie silence that seemed to swallow the bustling city around her. She pulled off her headphones, half expecting them to be broken, but they were perfectly fine. The silence was not just in her ears, it was everywhere. She pulled out her phone, the blank screen reflecting her own confusion. She tapped the screen, swiped, and pressed buttons, but nothing happened. The device, usually a portal to the world, was now just a lifeless piece of glass and metal. She looked around, hoping to find someone who could explain what was happening, but everyone seemed just as bewildered as she was. The businessman swore, his important email vanishing before his eyes. He had been in the middle of a crucial deal, the kind that could make or break his career. But now, His computer screen was blank, and all his work had disappeared into the void. He slammed his fist on the desk, frustration boiling over. How could everything just stop working all at once? Across the city, and indeed the world, the same scene played out. People stared at their devices, their lifelines to the digital world, now useless. In cafes, offices and homes, the silence was deafening. It was as if the entire planet had been put on pause, leaving billions of people in a state of collective bewilderment. Confusion gave way to panic. People began to shout, to run, to seek answers that no one seemed to have. The digital silence was more than just an inconvenience. It was a rupture in the fabric of modern life. Without their devices, people felt lost, disconnected, and vulnerable. The sense of security that technology had provided was now shattered. The news spread like wildfire, or at least as fast as word of mouth could travel in a world suddenly devoid of instant communication. In the absence of digital networks, people reverted to old ways of sharing information. They gathered in groups, whispered rumors, and speculated wildly about the cause of the silence. Was it a glitch, a hack, or something more sinister? Was it a terrorist attack, a solar flare, the end of the world as we knew it? The questions were endless, and the answers were nowhere to be found. News anchors, usually so composed, now looked visibly shaken as they reported on the unfolding crisis. The headlines were alarming, filled with speculation and fear-mongering, adding to the growing sense of dread. Speculation ran rampant, fueled by fear and the unnerving silence that had descended upon the planet. In a world so accustomed to constant noise and instant communication, the sudden quiet was more than unsettling. It was terrifying. People clung to each other, seeking comfort in the shared experience of uncertainty. The silence was not just the absence of sound. It was the presence of something unknown, something that had the power to change everything. The silence was deafening. The constant digital chatter that had become the background noise of life was gone, replaced by a strange, unfamiliar quiet. People looked up from their devices, forced to acknowledge the world around them. Strangers made eye contact, a rare occurrence in the usually disconnected hustle and bustle of city life. For 11 long minutes, the world held its breath. 11 minutes to reflect on the fragility of the systems we rely on, the invisible threads that connect us all. 11 minutes that felt like an eternity. In the absence of instant information and communication, a primal instinct kicked in. People sought solace in shared uncertainty, gathering in homes, pubs, and on street corners, exchanging anxious whispers and nervous laughter. The shared experience, though unsettling, forged a strange sense of camaraderie. Some found solace in the break from the digital deluge. They read books, played board games, or simply talked to each other, rediscovering the lost art of face-to-face conversation. For those 11 minutes, the world slowed down, forced to confront its dependence on the intangible web that held it captive. Just as abruptly as it began, the silence ended. Phones buzzed back to life, screens flickered on, and the familiar hum of servers returned. Relief washed over the city, a collective sigh of relief that rippled through the streets. But, the relief was short-lived, for something was different. Websites loaded, but the content was wrong. News sites displayed headlines from weeks, months, even years in the future. Social media feeds were filled with posts about events that hadn't happened yet. The digital world was a jumbled mess, a chaotic reflection of a future that wasn't supposed to exist. Section 6. Echoes of Tomorrow. Confusion reigned. Was this a massive hacking scheme, a bizarre technical glitch, or something far stranger? The internet, once a source of information and entertainment, had become an enigma, a window into a future both intriguing and terrifying. Governments scrambled to explain the unexplainable, but their words rang hollow in the face of such an unprecedented event. Scientists were baffled, their theories crumbling in the face of this digital anomaly. The world watched, captivated and terrified as the future unfolded before their eyes. Section 7. A glitch in the matrix. Whispers of time slips and alternate realities began to surface. Conspiracy theories flourished, feeding on the fear and uncertainty that gripped the globe. Was this a glimpse into our destined future, or a warning from a parallel world? The very fabric of reality seemed to be unraveling, the lines between past, present and future blurring into an indistinguishable mess. The internet, once a tool, had become a Pandora's box, unleashing a torrent of questions with no answers in sight. Section 8. Living with the unknown. As the days turned into weeks, the initial panic subsided, replaced by an uneasy acceptance. The streets, once filled with the hustle and bustle of daily life, now carried an air of cautious anticipation. People moved with a sense of purpose, yet their eyes betrayed a lingering uncertainty. The unknown had become a constant companion, a shadow that followed them everywhere. The future, once a distant concept, was now an ever-present spectre woven into the fabric of everyday life. Every decision, every action was tinged with the awareness of what might come. The once clear distinction between the present and the future had blurred, creating a new reality where time seemed to stretch and contract unpredictably. People adjusted, adapting to a world where the line between fact and fiction was irrevocably blurred. Advanced technology, once a source of wonder and excitement, now carried an undercurrent of fear. Holograms and virtual interfaces, tools designed to enhance life, became reminders of the precarious balance between innovation and chaos. The digital realm, with its infinite possibilities, had become a double-edged sword. The 11 minutes of silence became a global marker, a shared experience that bound humanity together in the face of the unknown. It was a moment of collective introspection, a pause that transcended borders and cultures. In those minutes, the world seemed to hold its breath, united in a silent acknowledgement of the mysteries that lay ahead. It was a powerful reminder of our shared humanity and the fragile thread that connected us all. It was a stark reminder of our vulnerability, our dependence on the technology we had created, and the fragility of the reality we thought we knew. The control rooms, filled with the hum of machines and the glow of screens, were now places of both hope and dread. Operators worked tirelessly, their faces etched with concern, as they navigated the complexities of a world teetering on the edge of the unknown. In this new era, every moment was a testament to human resilience and the enduring quest for understanding. Section 9. 11 minutes. 11 minutes, a blip in time, insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Yet in those 11 minutes, the world changed. We had peered into the abyss of the unknown and emerged forever altered. The digital ghost in the machine had reminded us that control is an illusion, and the future, like the past, is always watching. What secrets did those 11 minutes hold? What mysteries were unveiled in that brief glimpse into tomorrow? The answers, like the future itself, remain elusive, a chilling reminder that some things are not meant to be known.